Stories concerning the immigration status of his wife Melania have drawn attention to Donald Trump, a man who is well known for taking a tough stand against migrants. This film will examine the issue of Melania's deportation, which has drawn attention since Trump emerged as the Republican Party's frontrunner in the 2024 contest. I will walk you through everything in this video. Please click the subscribe button and enable notifications before I continue so that you may begin receiving our daily breaking news. I am grateful. Many have questioned the validity of Trump's wife's immigration status as a result of his stringent immigration policies. Some have even speculated that she is an illegal immigrant who married Trump in order to gain her documentation. In these kinds of situations, she would normally face deportation. Please remember to subscribe and leave a like on this video before moving on. Regarding Melania Trump's immigration history and how the former model from Slovenia gained legal status in the US, the Trump campaign has remained mute. In addition, fresh images of Trump's wife have emerged, refuting her assertion that she arrived in the country in 1996. These pictures were actually taken in New York in 1995. After meeting in town in 1998, they were married in 2000. What is known at this time about Melania Trump's immigration to the United States? Melania describes in her biography how she entered the country lawfully in 1996, obtained a green card in 2001, and eventually became a citizen of the United States in 2006. She told Harper's Bazaar in January, "For my career, I came here. It worked out well. I took a seat down here. I've never thought of remaining here without the required paperwork." She highlighted her adherence to the law and her meticulous pursuit of citizenship. Melania reaffirmed her dedication to abiding by immigration regulations in a follow-up remark on MSNBC in February. She mentioned that she frequently went back to Slovenia to renew her visa before eventually filing for a green card and then citizenship. There has been conjecture regarding Melania Trump's sponsorship for entry into the US and the nature of her visa. The ambiguous language used throughout Trump's campaign. Hope Hicks, a spokesperson for the Trump campaign, responded to specific questions regarding Melania Trump's immigration status with a single sentence. Melania became a proud citizen of the United States after abiding by the law. Her first American entrance is primarily known through the efforts of Paolo Zampoli, an Italian-born businessman in New York who once ran modeling agencies. Melania received sponsorship in 1996 from Metropolitan Models for an H-1B work visa. Those who can show exceptional achievement or competence in their industry are eligible for an H-1B visa. Zampoli told the Washington Post last week that he saw her while scouting in Milan and Paris. Zampoli claimed that because Melania had modeling experience in Europe, she was qualified. Her official biography confirms that she landed in the US in 1996, as she claims. Presented on the Trump Organization website and during the Republican National Convention in Cleveland, Ohio, earlier this month. After it was discovered to be false, the website removed a paragraph that claimed Melania had graduated from a Slovenian institution. Melania had left school to work as a model in Paris and Milan. Still, images appeared in the French magazine Max and the New York Post. The images published in the French magazine Max and the New York Post contradicted this chronology. The Washington Post claimed that these photos, which appeared in the February 1996 issue of Max, were taken in November or December of 1995. This was confirmed by photographer Alda Masserville and the chief editor of Max at the time, Mark Daisy. Politico was the first to report on this discrepancy and raise doubts about Melania Trump's 1995 illegal immigration to the US. According to the Washington Post, Daisy and de Basserville reported that Melania Trump was not compensated for the photo shoot. Max magazine speculated that Melania Trump was not a well-known model at the time. At that level, models occasionally contribute for free to magazine spreads. With aspirations to work in the business world, on Tuesday, January 2, 2024, Ross Story revealed that former President Donald Trump has apparently filed an appeal contesting Maine's ruling to disqualify him from the presidency due to his involvement in an insurrection against the United States. In the petition, he challenges Maine's decision to bar him from public office due to his involvement in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. The legal team representing Donald Trump plans to launch an appeal against the ruling that found him in violation of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment on January 6, 2021. This section forbids the holding of office by insurrectionists. The Colorado Republican Party has already appealed the state's highest court's decision to the United States Supreme Court. Legal experts think that in the event that the Supreme Court does not rule on the case's merits, the U.S. Supreme Court is supposed to resolve legal instability. Though Trump's attempts to delete ballots in Maine and Colorado were only partially successful, he is now attempting to undo a removal that many think could affect him in a general election. As stated by the Lewiston Sun-Journal, it was expected that the appeal would be filed, as reported by the local news outlets. The Trump team has turned in their application. The Trump team has filed an appeal against the ruling of Maine Secretary of State Jenna Bellows. The campaign officially filed an appeal, the Kennebec County Superior Court said late on Tuesday afternoon at 1:00. When questioned about the matter, a clerk from the Kennebec County Superior Court acknowledged that a campaign had filed a formal appeal. The clerk said that a judge was evaluating the filing, but a copy was not immediately available, the website added. A judge is presently examining the filing. Additionally, the clerk says that a copy of the document is not now available. The investigation observes that the search results contain no reference to the news outlet that reported the story. Section 3 of the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution states that Donald Trump is ineligible to be on the ballot. Secretary of State Jenna Bellows reached this decision based on the study's findings. Under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which forbids persons from appearing on the ballot, Secretary of State Jenna Bellows declared last week that Trump was ineligible to appear on the ballot. Under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, individuals are prohibited from holding office if they have supported or assisted the adversaries of the Constitution or participated in acts of insurrection or rebellion against it. Melania Trump's mother's health was declining, as acknowledged by the former president. In videos posted on X, the former name of Twitter, the 77-year-old Trump spoke to a crowd. "I was talking about the former First Lady at his New Year's Eve celebration at his Mar-a-Lago property in Palm Beach, Florida. She has been noticeably missing from his Christmas celebrations and the family photo," according to the Washington Post. Trump made it clear that Amalia Nafs, his 78-year-old mother-in-law, is ill. "She's at the hospital right now with her mother." Regarding her mother's grave sickness, Trump said, "I hope her mother, Amelia, will be recovering." Furthermore, Trump affirmed Melania, 53, and mentioned that they had just concluded a phone call. He informed the crowd that she was with her mother in a top-notch Miami hospital. He went on, "It's a tough one, a very tough one," expressing his optimism for a successful resolution. Trump went on, "Melania sends her love to everybody who came out to welcome the 2024, presumably knowing almost everyone in attendance. All we can hope for is Amelia's quick recovery." A close personal friend explained Melania's decision to skip the Trump family's Christmas celebration in an exclusive interview with Fox News Digital. "Melania has always been very devoted to her family," the person disclosed. According to the insider, it's not remarkable that she spent Christmas with her ailing mother. Fox News spoke with Melania. In May 2023, she gave her support to her husband's presidential re-election in 2024 on Digital. She claims that her husband can lead us to even greater greatness and prosperity because he was extremely successful during his first government. "My spouse has the ability to guide us back to wealth and grandeur in his second term. He had great success with his first management. She came to an end." The special counsel's brief and the immunity question make a compelling case that is consistent with Trump's prior assertions about presidential immunity. The main point of contention is whether or not a former president might face legal consequences for actions taken during their tenure in office. Smith has deftly put doubt on any claims of immunity made by Trump by capitalizing on his repeated statements that his immunity expires the moment he leaves office. Reiterating his prior statements, Trump says in the lawsuit that he believes the president is not immune from prosecution. Smith is deliberately undermining any potential legal defense that Trump might mount against charges of criminality. The filing presents Smith's argument in considerable depth, addressing the length of presidential immunity. In doing so, the special counsel is taking a cue from President Trump and creating a precedent that will make it more difficult to assert immunity for actions taken during his administration. Some are concerned that the papers, made less than a week before the scheduled oral arguments, were part of a calculated legal move to revoke the former president's immunity during the January 9 hearing. Trump's legal team will discuss Smith's allegation and examine its merits during this session. The outcome of this case, which will address both the specifics of Trump's circumstances and more general constitutional questions about the scope of presidential immunity, is highly anticipated by legal experts. Should Smith's contention hold water, it may have an effect on other litigation concerning former presidents and their conduct while in office, establishing a standard that extends beyond this particular case. The petition also sheds light on how legal arguments in well-known cases change over time and how both sides might be able to reach an agreement by making use of each other's prior statements made in court. Wu has a new editorial in the Daily Beast stating that the Supreme Court will not get into the legal disputes about whether Donald Trump can be barred from running for office in 2024. State officials can resolve the matter without the need for the nation's highest court to intervene, are abiding by both the 14th Amendment and their own laws. Wu contends that everything is operating as it should, with Congress overseeing the process and the states largely in charge of overseeing federal elections. He argues that since it is rather normal for states to have unique election procedures and eligibility standards, the Supreme Court should also refrain from interfering. Wu warns that if the Supreme Court were to get more involved in politics, it would run the risk of further harming its reputation. He invokes the controversial ruling from the 2000 election, in which the court effectively declared that George W. Bush would become the 43rd President of the United States, a decision that many saw as going beyond the judiciary's bounds in order to intervene in these cases. Let us know what you think in the comments section below while you wait. Please give us a thumbs up if you thought this video was insightful. Until the next occasion. I appreciate you listening. In the case against Trump, Letitia James unleashed enormous bombs on him, and her remarks caused Trump to shudder in terror. She pledged to see to it that Trump reimburses the remaining $250 million by the end of January 2024. I'll go over everything with you in this video. Before we begin, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you enjoy politics, as we release new political content every day. I'm grateful. Closing arguments in Donald Trump's fraud trial are scheduled to begin on January 11th in New York. After finding that Trump had falsely overstated the worth of his assets to obtain preferential bank loans, Judge Arthur Engoron ruled against him in the lawsuit, anticipating a hefty fine. Attorney General of New York Letitia James asked Engoron to fine Trump and his business hundreds of millions of dollars. The Trump Company. She stated last month that she was confident in our case, that justice would be served, and that the prosecution was excited to present their final arguments. Nobody is above the law, not even Donald Trump, regardless of how wealthy or powerful you may believe you are. Thus far, Engoron has surpassed James's demands in the summary judgment process. Engoron consented to cancel the business licenses of significant Trump firms that own significant Trump properties, such as Trump Tower in Manhattan, prior to the start of the trial, and the Mar-by-Her in Florida's Lego. By the end of the month, according to Engoron, he intends to have a definitive ruling on the non-jury case. James's $250 million civil fraud lawsuit names Trump, his two eldest sons, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., as well as the Trump Organization as co-defendants. The lawsuit claims the former president inflated his net worth by billions of dollars in order to obtain advantages like lower tax bills and better bank loans. Trump, his adult sons, their companies, and their executives had misrepresented the worth of their assets, according to a September ruling by Engoron. The court will decide on 6 additional counts, which include conspiracy, insurance fraud, and fabricating company records. The ex-president disputes any misconduct. Trump has repeatedly claimed that the lawsuits are politically motivated. If the courtroom discussions between Engoron and Trump are any indication, the former president's prospects do not look good for how the matter will be settled. During his November 6 testimony, Trump accused Engoron of being one of his opponents and someone who was trying to find him. Engoron threatened to remove Trump from the witness stand after accusing him of conversing while on the witness stand. Christopher Kaiser, Trump's primary attorney, got up and informed the judge. Engoron yelled out to Kise, "With this witness, it will be much more effective to listen and understand everything. No, I'm not interested in listening to him speak. I'm here to listen to his responses to the queries. Take a seat." Engoron informed Kise that he needed to handle Trump's remarks better. "We gave another speech," said Engoron. "Please, if you can, keep it under control. I will if you are unable to. I'll overlook it and take what negative meaning I can from it." In December, Trump declared that he would not testify on behalf of the defense, despite being compelled to appear on Letitia James's behalf. He declared on the social media platform Truth Social on Sunday, December 10th, that he would not be testifying for the defense the following day. Less than 20 hours before his testimony, Mr. Trump wrote, "I will not testify on Monday. I sincerely appreciate you staying until the very end. Please share your thoughts about this news with us in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. See you in the upcoming news. America, God bless you. Goodbye."